This video is over topic 35, numbers 1 through 3. So make sure you're looking at, especially this information, don't use these formulas. So as you're looking at the formula sheet, you have the ALEKS list, you have the course formula sheet. Anything on the ALEKS list that's on the course formula sheet, the ALEKS list will give you a little bit more information about it. That's fine. If it's on the ALEKS list and not on the course formula sheet, then best not to use it. This, we have a little bit more information, like what n represents. This, you're not going to use. These, ALEKS will tell you to use, and I'm telling you, do not use them. Now, the thing that's going to happen there is if you do use them and you manage to do all of the parentheses and the exponents and the fractions and everything correctly, it will get the answer ALEKS is looking for on homework and on quizzes. When you get to the tests, it's not going to ask you for the answer. It's going to ask, what do you type into Excel to get this? So you're not going to be prepared to answer that. And you're also doing more work along the way than what you need to use. So there'll be Excel formulas you're going to use. You will not then be asked to make those calculations on tests because you don't have Excel on tests. So you have all of these calculations here as well. Let me just pop these loan calculations onto a screenshot to refer to as we do the loan calculation questions. So, there we go. Okay. So we'll come back to the investment when I'm doing this question. So number one, you're buying a car for $12,260 with a $3,000 down payment. Down payment is you're paying that to begin with already. Whatever's left, you get a loan for. Your total payment will be $231.50 per month for 48 months. The amount financed is here. Amount financed. What's left after the down payment? What do you have to actually borrow? That's going to be the $12,260 minus the $3,000 down payment, leaves $9,260 to borrow. So you have the price is being now split into the $3,000 down payment and the $9,260 loan. The total of all monthly payments. Total to pay off the loan, that's here. It doesn't have a separate sub, but it's so total to pay off the loan. Oh, here, sorry, here it is. Total to pay off the loan is the same as the total of all monthly payments. So the 9260 is paid back by making 48 payments of 231.50. That's the 231.50 per month for 48 months. And so you multiply those 231.50 times 48. $11,112. The total installment price is what they call, and I think it will even say in ALEKS and remind you that this is going to be the down payment plus the total to pay off the loan. So the 11,112 plus the 3,000. So you paid off the loan with the 11,112, and you also paid the 3,000 down. That's what you actually ended up paying. So to pay the seller, they got the 3,000 and they got the 92.60. Then you have paid the 11,112 and the 3,000. So that's 14,112. The finance charge is the extra that you paid that didn't go to the seller. So if you can follow my messy paths here, you paid the 3,000 that went straight to the seller. You paid the 11,112 of that 92.60 went to the seller. So that's one way to look at it. And that would be an extra subtraction 1852. Or another way to look at it is you paid a total of the 114, so the 3,000 plus the 3,000. And that altogether went towards the whole selling price, which was the 12,260. So the 14. So to the loan seller versus the 14,112 you paid total minus the 12,260 total to the seller gives that same 1852. So the main thing is you just don't want to mix those up. So either you include the down payment in thinking about the amount you paid and counting that as already paid, like not as part of, so looking at just what's on the loan or at the total, including the down payment, but don't mix those up. All right, number 2, we have a car with a selling price of $27,295, a trade-in for a down payment of $4,500. We have the APR, and it's for 60 months. So now we're not told the monthly payment. Notice here in the previous question, when we had the monthly payment, we did not need the interest rate. The interest rate is used to find the monthly payment. It is not used directly to find the finance charge, which is the interest. So once you have the monthly payment, that is determined by the interest rate, and the interest rate then doesn't directly go into finding the finance charge. Here, we're not given the monthly payment, we're given the APR. So we need to find the monthly payment, and this is going to be in Excel. So on a test, this will be asked, what would you type into Excel? So let's look at this. So it is here, the monthly payment. So it is going to be equals PMT. That can be uppercase, lowercase, any combination, doesn't matter. And parentheses, you're going to have 3 things going into this separated by commas. The first thing is the R over N, which is the monthly interest rate. So that can be written as 2.9%, 0.029, 0.029, any of those will work, but not just 2.9. Then there's going to be the divided by 12, because the APR means for the whole year, and we're just doing 1 month at a time. So 2.9% divided by 12. That's the first part. Second part is going to be the number of months. N times T, if T was in years, it would be 12 times T, but we already have the number of months, the number of payments. And then the last piece is the amount of the loan. And this is combined is the monthly interest rate. For the amount of the loan, that's going to be the purchase price, the price minus the down payment. So 27,295 minus 4,500 is 22,795. Super important, no comma in there. So putting this into Excel, get a blank Excel here. Right here. Zoom in a little bit. All right, so I start with my equals. I type PMT, uppercase, lowercase, doesn't matter. It'll turn uppercase when it's done, but I can type it however. I'm going to do 2.9% divided by 12, comma, 60, comma, 22795, and parentheses, and it does that. Now, it comes up red, comes up in parentheses. It is calculating and giving the result as a negative number. If I don't want it to do that, I can do PMT, parentheses. Let's say I go 0.029 here divided by 12. Again, doesn't matter. Comma, 60, comma. If I put a minus here in front of the 22795, it'll give the same number. It'll just accept that it's a positive number. If I do equals PMT and do 0.029 divided by 12, comma, 60, comma, 22, comma, 795, it gives a wrong answer. So it is treating each comma, it says, oh, you're done giving me that information. You're now giving me the next information. So it's treating just the 22 as the amount borrowed, but that there's a 795, like it's going to end up with 795. Just doesn't work right. So you wouldn't necessarily recognize that as wrong, but if you think of, to almost $30,000, you're paying it over a 5-year period, probably going to be more than $12 or $13. So the monthly payment, $408.58 might sell. Okay, number 3, we have iMac for $14.99 with 200 down. So the amount financed, $14.99 minus 200 leaves $12.99 to borrow. So again, the seller gets $14.99. They get that as $12.99 from the loan and $200 directly from the buyer. The monthly payment for the loan is going to be equals PMT. It's going to be 12% APR, so 12% divided by 12 for 5 years, so 12 times 5. You can do the calculation if you want, but you can just let Excel do the calculation. Asterisk for multiplication, you could do 5 times 12, you could do 60. And then putting the amount borrowed, the $12.99 in there. So equals PMT parentheses 12% divided by 12, comma, you do 12 times 5 here, comma, $12.99. $28.90 for that monthly payment. So the buyer is paying $28.90 per month for 5 years to pay off the loan. The total installment price, including the down payment was $200. Then the rest is that $28.90 per month. That's 12 times per year, because there's 12 months in a year, for 5 years. So $28.90 times 12 times 5. While I have Excel up, I can use Excel to do any calculation, just hit equals at the beginning. $28.90 asterisk for multiplication times 12 times 5, $17.34. So this this becomes 1734 that is paid back to the loan. Plus the 200. So the buyer has paid 17. So buyer has paid 1734 and 200 for a total of 1934. The finance charge, you can look at either, you can compare the 1734 minus the 1299, or you can look at the total the buyer paid versus what went to the seller. So you're either taking 1934 minus 1499 or 1734 minus 1299. Either way, it comes out $435. So that's the total interest. Again, you could not find that finance charge or total interest directly using the interest rate that goes to find the monthly payment, and that is all that happens with it.